So without any further ado, our first contestant is Ben Marshall. So we'll watch a little quick intro video with Ben, and then after that intro video, Ben, you just go ahead and take it away. You can just unmute yourself and roll right after the video ends, and the time will be yours. We got 20 minutes on the clock for each contestant, and then after this is all over, you guys are gonna vote for the winner. All right, let's watch this little intro video, and then Ben will be up.
What we actually do is supply live music for weddings and events. There are approximately 200,000 weddings a year just in the United Kingdom alone, and we have grown from being just an £80,000 turnover business to over £3 million now, and we've done that in the space of 4 years, growing our staff team from just myself and one other member of staff through to 11 of us. We needed to find a way to automate a large percentage of the tasks that we find ourselves having to do within the business, and Infusionsoft was the solution to that problem. What it allowed us to do was to vastly increase the amount of leads that we could feed into our CRM and automate the follow-up process so that every one of our customers had an incredible experience receiving really important information. Without Infusionsoft, it simply wouldn't have been possible to generate the amount of email content that we do, and we're talking thousands of emails a day. Pivotal to the center of that has been this concept of automation and using software to replace so much of the laborious work that comes with running a small business. We used to have to get on the phone to people and have those conversations, which is just so massively time consuming and often ineffective. It's allowed us not only to be more cost effective, but actually to be far more efficient and give our end users just a much better experience, which of course in turn has resulted in a much higher referral rate and a much higher customer satisfaction score, which is ultimately for us as small business owners what it's all about. I guess for me, as a father of 2 kids, the biggest benefit to me has been able to spend time with them. You ask any entrepreneur what they're short of, it's rarely resources, it's normally time, and that is the most precious thing of all, and having Infusionsoft at the heart of our business has given me as the founder time back that I never thought I'd get as a business owner. So Infusionsoft, thank you, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Fantastic stuff, thank you very much. I'm hoping that you can see my screen and you can see my slides. I believe that's the case. I just want to start by saying a massive thank you. And a thank you to Clay and to Tyler for making this happen, because I'm pretty sure I speak on every entrepreneur across the land, whether this side of the Atlantic or your side of the Atlantic, when I say that this has been a remarkable year like one we've never experienced. And normally when I come to a conference, be it IKON or another one, I'm looking for some kind of inspirational play or something to happen that is it's going to change the business. But actually, I think what I need at the minute, like most entrepreneurs, is some hope, some motivation, some community. So thank you very much on behalf of everybody that's here for making this happen. It's really an honor to be here. And the video's already told you a little bit about the business. We're a business that works in the music industry, managing artists. And that's original artists, it's function bands, it's session musicians of all different genres. We have a very simple purpose. And that is simply to let musicians concentrate on making music. Very, very, very straightforward. Just once, I'm just going to check that I can. Is my screen sharing? Can everyone give me a nod if it's sharing? You can see my slides. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So yeah, we have a really simple purpose to let musicians make music, and we also have a mantra that is to be the best artist management company that you've never heard of. As a young lad, I used to do a lot of football refereeing, soccer refereeing, as you guys would call it. And I always had this thing that I'd worked with, that the best referees, the ones that you didn't notice. And I think there's something very, very true in management of artists that's a parallel to that, whereby the best artist management companies you don't notice, they just kind of fade into the background. And we prefer to celebrate the success of our clients and promote them. So normally if you hear about us, it's because something's gone wrong and we need to sort it. But that's a little bit about our company. What I really want to do is focus on our journey then. So the company started in 2014. We started with one employee, a young man by the name of Nathan. Nathan was 16 when he left high school, came to work for me. We had 2 bands, 4 musicians. Fast forward to today, and we now have 11 employees, 115 musicians, over 40 bands, and 22 associates across the globe, Dubai, Nashville, literally all over the world. It's been an incredible journey. But there are 2 pivotal moments that I want to specifically just look at for a moment. The first one was in 2015, where we decided that it was the right time to get involved in growth, and we wanted to take the business up a notch. And we decided that we would look for some software that was going to do our sales and marketing for us. We didn't really know what kind of software we wanted. We didn't know what it wanted to do, but we knew that we needed something. And other companies were using things to take their sales and their marketing to another level. And we stumbled across this piece of software called Infusionsoft. Didn't really know what it was, what it did. But we thought all the reviews were great. And this sounds absolutely crazy, but we bought this piece of software, not really knowing what it did. Within a couple of months, we'd made some incredible campaigns. We're both kind of technically minded, and the logic of Infusionsoft, it's kind of suited both myself and Nathan. And within 3 months, we built campaigns that were generating leads from 60 different web pages all into one campaign. Doing some really incredible stuff. They were, hi there.
I think we're stuck on your first slide still. You might want to try stopping the screen share and then start the screen share again.
Okay, I'm going to do that just now. Bear with me.
Yeah, we missed a couple of things there.
Can you see that now?
Yeah, we can see it. So go ahead and put it in presentation view again, and hopefully it sticks with it this time.
How's that?
We're good. I'll let you know if it sticks again.
Yeah, good man. Thank you. So yeah, that's what the first campaign. There's the journey one that we missed out, I think, on that one. One employee through to 2014 to present day. And we talk about the campaigns we did. We created these huge campaigns fairly early on in our Infusionsoft journey, and they were not just emails, but they were tasks and different things, fairly basic stuff, but nevertheless quite revolutionary to our business. On to the next slide. IKON has played a massive part in this. In 2016, we decided that we wanted to be involved a little bit more in this. Is it done it again?
Yeah, maybe just leave it in normal view.
I'm going to leave it at that. Cool.
Yeah, just click it like that. Yeah, that works.
Brilliant. Perfect. Thank you. So yeah, we decided that we wanted to know a little bit more about this Infusionsoft community, and we headed over the Atlantic to Arizona and spent the week in Phoenix as part of the IKON event. And the thing for us that blew us away was not just the quality of the content and the speakers, but also the exposure to the concept of APIs and being able to integrate other bits of software into our system and our use of Infusionsoft. Now we use over 12 different other software companies that tie into Infusionsoft. All of those are part of the integration process that we go through. So back to the journey. This is really significant because the finances, the revenue that we generated started out in year one at £76,000. And last year, in our financial year to date, which ended April, we did £3.6 million, which is growth far in excess of anything that we could really, honestly, ever have dreamt of. And Infusionsoft's been really significant in making that happen. But this is the thing that I really want to draw your attention to more than anything, because whilst revenue is important, and I alluded to this in the video, the thing that I'm always shortest of as an entrepreneur, with a guy with lots of responsibilities in my community, more importantly with 2 children, the thing I'm always short of is time. And what's really interesting as we look at our journey is that whilst the revenue has gone up, the time that I'm required to be involved in the business as the chief exec has actually gone down, which for me is utopia. It's one thing to be able to grow revenue, but to be able to kind of claw time back at the same time is the ultimate goal, really. So I want to just spend a little bit of time in the last kind of 10, 12 minutes that I've got, just unpacking some of the things that we've done to enable us to do that. So the big challenges, there's 3 in our industry. The first one is that weddings, parties, and events generally require a personal approach. They want a personal touch. Nobody wants to get married and kind of work on the basis that a robot or an automation software has planned their wedding for them. Nobody wants a 50th birthday party that hasn't had any human interaction. They want their, as far as they're concerned, it's the biggest event in London that year. Nobody else matters, and they want your undivided attention. The second thing is that the administration demands for managing artists is just absolutely huge. When I say that we deal with probably 13, 14 different suppliers for every single booking, be that sound engineers or whatever, the administration demands on our team are absolutely massive. And the third thing is, particularly with a young team, which is what I've got, managing their workflows can sometimes be difficult, particularly when you want to be in the business less and less, which is certainly the case for me. So they're the three different things that are the big challenges for us and that Infusionsoft has helped us overcome. Very quickly, I'm going to take you through the funnel, and then we'll unpack a couple of the things out of our playbook that I think may be useful to everybody else. So the first thing is to look at our ads. We are big users of Facebook ads. We are even bigger users of Google ads. And we now spend, on an average week, just in excess of £6,000, which I think is about $8,500 every single week, which is a lot of money, but the return on it is quite remarkable. You don't need to be a mathematician to work out that sort of spend with a 3.6 million return is great ROI. We also do quite a bit of offline marketing, whereby we'll attend wedding fairs, basically anywhere where there's a potential customer, we'll try and get a presence there. I put up now a couple of examples of our Facebook ads, which is on the left and obviously a Google on the right. And you'll see on the right-hand side that actually there's three of those, the City Folk, Coco Magic and Mad About Tomorrow are all artists that we represent and feature at the top of Google search terms for the keywords that we're interested in. The next part of the funnel is the personal response. Now, I've got to say, and Keap probably won't thank me for this, but we decided fairly early on that automation wasn't going to work for this part of the business. We tried it, we failed fast, and we failed hard. So we decided that at this point needed to be a very, very personal touch. That initial contact required a human element to it. And no matter how hard we tried to automate it, it wasn't possible. And actually, and I'm going to speak really openly and honestly now, we found actually that Infusionsoft wasn't the best way of doing that, and we started using Zendesk, which I believe, I know there's people here that use that, and I know FuseDesk is something that I've been looking at since I've heard about that this last couple of days, and that might be an opportunity to switch. But we decided that Zendesk was actually a better way of doing that. What's even better is that Zendesk ties in with Infusionsoft. So we were still able to keep Infusionsoft the heartbeat of our business and make sure that everything was kind of still in one place and was as effective as it could possibly be. That was really, really important for us and worked really, 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 really well. I guess the next thing is the automated content. And this is fairly the bread and butter stuff of Infusionsoft. It was back in 2015 when we implemented it, and it still is now. The automated content can be anything from SMS, text messages, automated emails, there's some examples there, invitations to webinars, invitations to schedule a Zoom call with us. There's loads of different things that we use to keep leads warm and to condition them to a point where they're ready for sale. I guess another thing that we use is a piece of software called Bandmatch Pro, which I'm going to touch on in a little while, and there's a screenshot there also of one of the webinars that we use. Payment is something that we use Infusionsoft for. Some of our customers choose to pay through that method. Some prefer bank transfer. And there's actually a bit of a different culture in the US and the UK on how people prefer to pay for things, and that's reflected in the way that we work with kind of private customers and more corporate customers. But the payment is handled in and outside of Infusionsoft, but again, all tied in centrally, so we can always keep on top of what's where, and we know exactly where the customer's at any given moment, and we can always lay our hands on that information, which is fantastic. And then next bit, and this is the bit that I think I'm probably most proud of, is the fulfillment. Because when we bought Infusionsoft, we bought it as a sales and marketing tool, as 99% of people here will have done. But what we found out fairly quickly was that we were actually able to use Infusionsoft to deliver probably about 60-70% of the service that we actually provide. Because as a management company, all you're doing is you're collecting information, you're arranging it, collating it, and then disseminating it to other parties. So by using forms, there's a screenshot of one there that one of our band uses to collect information about first answers to contacts, insurance information, loads and loads of different fields of data. We can then ensure that that data is disseminated to all the different people, the sound engineers, the lighting engineers, the road crew, the road managers, logistics. We can make sure that everybody has got what they need, and more importantly, they've got it when they need it. So Infusionsoft for us was not just about the sales and marketing. It very, very, very quickly became about actually fulfilling the service that we provide to our clients. And that's something that I think is quite unique to us. And it's something that we're remarkably proud of, and have been able to achieve some really, really cool stuff doing that. I guess what I'm going to ask now is for a little bit of participation, and you're going to have to just run with me just for a moment. And everyone's thinking, oh no, the English guy is going to get us doing this, and yeah, I am. And I want everybody just to get their green and their red, their signs, thumbs up or thumbs down. And I want to read a statement, and I want you to tell me whether you agree with this or whether you don't agree with this. And that is that the male species is completely different to the female species in how they think, in how they act, and how they react. If you think that's a true statement, give me a thumbs up, give me a kind of nod. If you think it's a load of rubbish, give me the thumbs down. So we're saying yes. Everybody's giving me the yes. Okay. So I ask you this, okay? Why, if we all agree, as we seem to, that men and women are so different, why do we all treat them, when they're in terms of leads, exactly the same way? There's a very wise statement, wasn't there, once upon a time, I don't know who said it, that men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's so true. So why on earth do most businesses target them and advertise them in the same way? One of the things that we've done with great success is when a lead comes into Infusionsoft, we've created a human task for one of our teams to identify the gender of that lead and assign them a tag, male or female, which means that when they get into our follow-up sequence and that automated content that we were talking about earlier is delivered, they get different. I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor or not, but they get different email content depending on their gender, which is really important because what we found, particularly with the wedding market, which is a huge part of our business, that women and men, they want different lengths of emails, they want different content, and that has been an absolute game changer for us. It's something that very, very, very few businesses do. But they are fundamentally different species in their buying habits and their conditioning. So it's really, 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 really interesting to see how that's made a difference in our business. And I can tell you now, if you've not experimented with it, it's something that I would really, really, really encourage you to do, because it's quite a powerful thing once you've got that done. Okay, the next thing I want you to vote on, thumbs up or thumbs down, is that this statement. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? That if you do a great job for someone, they'll shout your name from the rooftops and you get lots of referrals. Do you agree with that statement? Thumbs up if you do, thumbs down if you're not so sure. I'm getting thumbs ups. That's good. Most people agree with it, okay? So I'll tell you this, 99% of businesses, services and products, you're absolutely right. The one business that I've ever been involved in, and I've had countless businesses over the years, still have many, the one business that I've never, ever been the one business that we don't see that in is the wedding business. And I don't know if that's because if a couple have this incredible band for their wedding, it's a huge success. They're absolutely amazing. Selfishly, and I'm looking at on the grid on my right-hand side, and there's three ladies that are all smiling and nodding at this. They don't want their friends to have the same band for their wedding that they had. So in any other business where your referral is kind of a given if you do a great job, it doesn't seem to work for us. So the rule book went out the window for us. And what we decided to do was to take matters into our own hands and find a way of harvesting that data. And we did this by setting up a thing called guest request. And what guest request allows us to do is to create a very, very unique landing page for each client. If, for example, David and Laura are getting married, you get guestrequest.co.uk/Dave and Laura, and they would share that URL, and their guests can request songs. And by requesting the song, the artist, and giving us their email address, we've then got their data, which allows us to kind of harvest that, and we can then retrospectively market to them, say, hey, we were that great band that performed at so-and-so's wedding. Here's our link to our website, give us a like on Facebook, etc., etc. So we had to find a really innovative way of getting referral links in an industry where even if you do the most incredible job, people are actually quite slow to wish to refer you to their immediate circle, because they don't want everybody to have the same wedding day that they had. And to this day, I don't think there's another industry where that's the case. The next one is this. That's the slide related to the guest request. The next one is this. The more time that you've invested, the harder it is to walk away. Who agrees with that statement? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Again, it's almost a unanimous thumbs up. And I agree with that. And I think that's very, very true for us as entrepreneurs. But more importantly, we found that it's really, really true of customers. And what we did is we created a piece of software, an app, initially using Typeforms, which is a piece of software that plugs again into Infusionsoft. And what it does is it over a period of about 25 minutes, It asks 50 questions about their musical tastes and their preferences of live music. And it has three purposes. The first one is this. It allows us on an individual level to get to know that customer in a depth that previously we had no idea about their preferences, their desires, their wants, their needs. Secondly, it gives us an overview because we can look at that data in a wider context. But finally, what it does subconsciously, it forces the end user, the lead, the client, to invest a significant amount of time. 25 minutes is a significant amount of time in our product line, in our service, and consequently takes them further down that line in terms of a commitment to buy. And we've been running this now for about 16 months. And when we last quantified this, and it was back in June, we found that there was a 31% increase in conversions from people who had been through the Bandmatch Pro process, and then they went on to buy. 31% higher if they'd been through that process. So there were three kind of huge benefits of that. So in terms of kind of one of the hacks that I wanted to share, that's a real big one. If you can create something that requires your leads to give a firm time commitment to being involved in your follow-up, you will see a significant increase in sales. And actually, that idea came from IKON back in 2016. And there was somebody in one of the breakouts talking about they sold mattresses. And what they did is they invited people to come and spend a night at the showroom. It was like a hotel room set up within the showroom, spend the night on the mattress. And he says it was about a 95% conversion rate because they committed a night of their time. They were so kind of pregnant with the idea that they weren't just going to walk away and say, oh, no, that was a waste of a night. We're not having that product. So think about how you can create something in your business that you can sweat like that. Three last things from me before I want to leave you to it. And they're three quick takeaways that I hope are useful to people, things that have changed our game as we've gone. The first one is this: payment plans. You'll remember a gentleman called Gary Vaynerchuk. I heard him in 2016, and he said this. He said, if you're not using payment plans for your business to sell your product or your service, you are missing out on market share. And we thought, okay, this guy seems to know what he's on about. We'll give it a go. And again, what we saw overnight was a 14% increase in sales. Really, really significant. I'm nearly through on time. I've just got two more very, very quick points. The second one is this: learn how to automate people. When we think of automation, we think about getting the computer to do things, to fire emails out, to create digital assets, whatever it may be. But actually, what I found from having a team of really creative people is that they are at their best when they are working within an automation framework. And that can be through tasks, online and offline tasks. It can be through different things. But actually, for a business to scale quickly, as we have done, and the rate at which we scale is quite remarkable, there needs to be a level of automation framework that my staff can feel safe and secure and work within. So look at how you can automate the workflow of your team. To get the best out of them, you need to be able to measure it, and they need to feel safe that what they're doing is within a framework, and it allows them to be more creative within the parameters that you set. So look how you can automate people in your team. And the third takeaway is this: don't listen to the experts. And we've heard from some incredible experts that you must absolutely listen to. But when we bought Infusionsoft, we bought it because we were told it was sales and marketing software. And actually what it's become for us is that not only the heartbeat to our sales and marketing, but actually to the fulfillment of the service that we offer. So I guess the takeaway is that don't limit what Infusionsoft can do by the preamble that you hear from events like this. If you can think of something in your business that you need to do, the odds are that if you work hard enough and you kind of think differently enough, you can probably find out a way that Infusionsoft can do that and take even more of the fulfillment of your business and give you even more time back. I'm conscious I'm just about over time. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope there's some really useful stuff in there. Sorry the PowerPoint or the keynote didn't work for whatever reason, but hopefully you were able to see it on that. Thank you very much. It's an absolute honor to have been here, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the other finalists. Tyler, thanks ever so much.